Feeling sorry for Errol Spence. Errol Spence made millions of dollars. That one fight, he made millions of dollars. He don't feel sorry for himself. Yeah, he lost, but he lost the match. He lost the belts, but his paycheck is probably going to be the fattest paycheck ever. And he's going to look at that paycheck and like, ooh, for this paycheck, I will lose these belts again because it's that much money. I'm happy for Errol Spence. The dude made millions, the biggest fight. He enjoyed the fight. He got beat up, but at least he could still walk. At least he don't have brain damage. He'll wake up maybe a few weeks feeling better than ever. He's going to be okay. The dude is going to be okay. You just got to train harder and make sure you study the person that you fight, and don't just jump in. Don't be so quick to fight somebody. You better make sure you study them and come up with a strategy to beat them. See, when I watch boxing, I always thought, oh, you just train and you work on this and you work on that and you just fight. But no, these new boxers are different. They watch your footage, they watch your videos, and they look for like your weaknesses. They look at areas that you're weak in. They study you. They study you like football players sitting in a room studying the other team. Like boxers study each other. And then they adjust. They study and they adjust. Boxing is mental. Yeah, it's physical, but it's also mental. It's a mental game. You got to come into that ring smart. You got to come into that ring knowing who you fighting. You got to study the person that you're fighting. Just because you hit hard or just because you fight a certain way don't mean that you're going to win. You got to know who you're fighting. You got to study them. I don't think they really studied that man. He relied on his ability without knowing his opponent. He didn't know his opponent fought like that. But I'm pretty sure they studied Errol Spence. They studied Errol Spence and they knew all his weaknesses. I guarantee you Terrence Crawford and his team studied Spence. They studied Spence to a point to where they knew every move he was going to make. You can't tell. Look, yeah, Terrence Crawford's a good fighter, but you can't tell me they didn't study him. They studied Spence. They studied Errol Spence. They knew every move Errol Spence was going to make. And when I was watching the fight, that's when I realized they knew. Because he didn't switch up his style. Errol Spence kept doing the same thing. Because that's his style of fighting. And they knew. They studied him and they knew. They knew everything about Errol Spence. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.